Live, the Saturday matinee edition. The Saturday boys are here with you. Knicks lose 102-94. On today's episode, we're going to give you our takeaways. You're going to hear from live callers, fan reactions from today's game. We also got a special guest, Tommy Beer, contributor at Forbes Magazine, is going to join us at the 3:15 mark. He's going to be talking Knicks draft, Knicks news, and you know, you call it, man. So we got a lot to do. Also got a statement games giveaway today. Tomorrow night's Knicks versus Timberwolves game is a statement game. We're going to be giving away this brand new Knicks snapback to one lucky winner. So we're going to give you the details on how you can win that as well. So a lot to do. Let's get into it. CP from the KnicksFanTV. My man Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. Happy Saturday, Jay Ellis. How you feeling, brother?
It was all a dream, CP.
It was all a dream, man. Rest in peace to Biggie Smalls. Today's March 9th. Especially those New Yorkers, those hip-hop heads, you know what today is. So, yeah, definitely rest in peace to Frank. Jay Ellis, what happened out there today, man?
I don't know. End of analyst.
I mean, no, listen, we thought this was going to be a matinee dud, and we were actually given a surprise. The Knicks bolted out to a huge lead, led by Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan, setting the tone in the first half. And things kind of fizzled from there, man. What'd you see out there?
Yeah, man. The Knicks kind of jumped on them early, just like you said, but it seemed like no one had their shot going. Yeah. Everybody who usually makes shots missed it. Dotson was on.
Oh, Dotson missed several layups, man. Yeah, Dotson was on matinee time.
Yeah, Dotson was really on after Fez gave him the big compliment.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I'm arrived that I tried anymore. He missed all this. Trier, who was missing free throws. Mitch was hitting more free throws than Trier at one point.
Yeah, ISO had an off night tonight from the stripe as well. Definitely.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And then, like, we couldn't stop the Kings in the fast break.
Mm-hmm.
They're just too fast. It's a plethora of things that went wrong.
Plethora of things. Kings surprisingly lead the league in pace after leading the league at the bottom last year in pace. Obviously, that could be attributed to De'Aaron Fox, man. Big fan of this kid, Jay Ellis.
Yeah, man.
And he and Buddy Hield basically destroyed us in the second half. 27 points combined for them in the second. 30 points combined for them in the second half, and that pretty much did us in, man.
Yeah, they knew their roles and they played it well. Fox just kept pushing the pace and finding Buddy, and Buddy was atrocious the first half.
Yeah.
But he just kept shooting. He didn't care.
Facts.
And eventually he got on a roll, and that was all they wrote for us. And surprisingly, the Knicks kind of fought back. We had the lead in the fourth quarter, but too much to Aaron, man. We don't really have a reliable closer on this team. When things get tight, it gets real shaky in the knees. Man.
Yeah, that's what happens when the game gets tight. You know, we kind of lose our way. We did have the lead, as you said, 5-minute mark. We did go back up one. There was a fury in the fourth quarter. Luke Cornett gave us some good minutes. John Jenkins in the third quarter gave us 9 good points, 3 3-pointers for John Jenkins. Luke Cornett played solid on both ends of the court. That second unit with Jenkins, Cornett, Mitch, Moutier, ISO. They gave us a lift, man, and got us the lead. I thought the turning point of the game was the DSJ technical foul, man. I didn't think it was a technical. I thought it was a cheap call. And, after that, De'Aaron Fox has basically sealed it.
Yeah, like you said, DSJ. DSJ is a goon, man.
He's a goon, man. I love his attitude, though, man.
He's a goon. Like, congrats, Mitch. You got a friend.
Yeah.
DSJ is now a goon. I do feel like he did, even though I felt like the tech was too much, I did feel like DSJ went a little bit.
You thought he instigated it? He got shoved in the back.
Did I miss the replay? It didn't look as bad when I saw the replay.
I don't know. I thought it was a cheap shot, and I don't mind DSJ solidifying the tank with getting extra aggressive with these guys, man.
Needless to say, I don't think he should have got a tech for that.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't think so either, man. That was a cheap tech.
Well, it was very cheap tech. I don't know.
Yeah,
those type of refs, they should be. I know they evaluate these refs sometimes too for playoff atmosphere type things.
Yeah,
the refs that give texts like that in those situations, I don't think should be working with them.
I mean, why not review the call? why not review the call when it gets that late? You know, it's always the second act that gets caught. It's never the aggressor that gets caught. So why not review the call?
That's a fact. They should have just reviewed the call at that point.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It helps our tank anyway.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, I feel like this is a team that is on the rise. Good for them. Yeah, I actually hope the Kings make the playoffs, man, because I like Fox that much, man. I like Fox a lot, man.
I do too, yo. I'm not sure if the Spurs is going to really hand that over, though. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I believe they're 3 games back at 8th in the West. And then the West, man, give credit. You know, Kings are playing well, man. They lead the league in fast break points, lead the league in pace. And that's clearly that boy, De'Aaron Fox, man. He had his Ninja Turtle headband on today, JL. So he was going to work, man. 30 points, 8 dimes.
Yo, I'm getting one.
I think that's what it is, man.
I'm getting one.
Yeah.
If the next post game comes on and I have one on, you know why. Right.
Well, works for everybody except for Wes Matthews when he was here. he had to take that sucker off.
Nah, he definitely wasn't working. He sucked all his powers.
He had to take that sucker off. What else?
What did you think of Moutier?
I think the fan base is tired of Moutier. I think something has to give with whatever blackmail Moutier has on this management team. I'm telling you, Jay Ellis, don't be shocked if they are planning to have Moutier around as a fallback plan. I think they like him that much, bro.
Yeah, Moutier, like I think I said this before, Moutier is a type, he has game, but he seems like he doesn't have a mental grip of the game. Like he can't sustain concentration for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Like the coach said how good he was playing in the off season during the summer, during like the camps and camp things like that, and he played well during the camp. And as soon as the season started, he sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got injured as soon as he came back from injury the first time, he played well.
Yeah.
Come on. And then he got injured again, and then he sucked again. And then as soon as he come back from injury again, he plays well. It's like, oh, this is the Moutier we saw earlier.
Struggled again, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Moutier can concentrate for longer than a month.
Need that stamina, man.
Games together. I'm not sure if that's what we have in Moutier. So we'll see what happens next season if he ends up on this team or not. But
yeah, well, we'll see. He finishes with 9 points, 4 boards, 3 dimes, 3 turnovers today, 23 minutes. A lot of the fan base was looking for Mitch down the stretch, man. Where was Mitchell Robinson down the stretch of this game? We saw him with a key block in the fourth quarter. Gets a key block on, I can't pronounce this guy's name, Mixica. Not Bogdanovich. His name is, I'm going to give you his name right now on the Kings. Jalika. Sorry, I'm butchering this guy's name. But anyway.
Mitch, like me.
Yeah, but anyway, Mitch blocks the 3, leads to a transition 3 by Cornette. And then that was pretty much it for Mitch. I mean, DeAndre Jordan ends up finishing the game. And, you know, a lot of those Fox buckets came on those switches and left DeAndre kind of exposed, man.
Yeah, Mitch got tired.
Yeah.
During that run, we ran him through the ground, dog. You can see he was tired by the way he gets up. Because the play before he got taken out, I forgot his shot was blocked from behind, and he hit the floor, and he stayed down there like a half a second longer than you thought he would. Yeah. I think the coach saw it too. It was like, okay, let's get him out of the game. And we'll put DeAndre back in since he was having a good game. One of the only other Knicks really to have a good game today, numbers-wise.
Yeah, I mean, you know, typical night for DeAndre, 14 points, 15 boards, a 6-9 shooting. I just thought, you know, crunch time, you know, defensively, he just didn't give us the stops that we were looking for. Overall, I like DeAndre, man, on the cheap, on the very cheap. I like DeAndre a lot for this team. I felt like he kind of gave us that lift. You know, get out that matinee slump, man. He kind of kicked the team in the ass a little bit and got them going in the first half.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And also he exposed one critical thing. Mm-hmm. Enos Cantor was not too old to get minutes.
Yeah, right. I told you, Fizz is gonna learn that politics, man. Just keep it a buck, man. Just keep it a buck. Just keep it a buck, Fizz. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no need to play the politics, especially with Cannon. We don't own nothing, you know.
Nah, man. Because man, this guy is 30 years old, getting half the minutes,
and closing games,
and starting. But Enos is 26 and too old. What he meant to say? Enos played too old. That's what he meant to say.
Probably, yeah. He's 25. He played like he's 65 on defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Shuffling those legs, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Who else? Kevin Knox, another shooting malaise for Knox. I did like his aggression in the first half.
Yeah.
I thought his mentals was there. I thought, I thought he was really pushing the issue there, but he just couldn't knock it down, man. They didn't have a good game today. Well, that's all we'll say. Didn't have a good game.
Yeah, didn't have a great game. I like that I saw him pass a little bit more.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the shot just wasn't falling again. And I know the coach said that he was working on it very, very hard to get out the slump. But I don't know, it's just not paying off for some reason.
Yeah. Right, just not working, man. Just not working. 3 for 12. Yeah. 3 for 12. We're not here to jump on Knox, man. We're just pointing out he didn't play well.
Nah. Still a young guy. Hopefully things turn around. Hopefully his mentals will get used to this long season and the body will actually catch up as well.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Keep it with Knox.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But 3 of 12 from Knox on the campaign. 66% overall from free throw, JL's. Free throws is another area. I mean, we missed 7 free throws out there. ISO, who's typically, I think he's about 80%, shot 50 today. I had no idea Dennis Smith Jr. was such a terrible free throw shooter, man.
Me neither.
When they said only 50% on the telecast, I was like, wow.
That's horrendous. For a point guard.
That was pretty crazy, man.
That's horrendous for a point guard, and it's a little scary when you project his shooting going forward. Because usually they'll say if you're a good free throw shooter,
mm-hmm.
it'll turn into a good jump shooter in general.
Right. So
the fact that he's missing these standstill free throws from a free throw line doesn't project well for his shooting going forward in his future in his career. Hopefully that turns around. We can only hope. We'll see what happens in the summer.
Yeah, I had no idea he was that bad. But DSJ finishes with 18 points, 5 dimes, and 5 boards on the night. 1 turnover, 7 of 19 shooting. So his efficiency is what we're watching, JLs. His efficiency is what we're watching to see if he can improve on that.
Definitely. Yeah,
man.
I want to see that 3-point. I want to see that 3-pointer drop a little bit more too. Because he was awful. He was awful today. And you can see there was like a little competition going on between Dennis Smith Jr. and
Fox.
And Fox.
Yeah.
Fox will come down that first half, especially hit a 3. Dennis Smith Jr. will come down, try to hit a 3 as well.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite go as well.
This is the game within the game. They'd known each other since high school, as they said on the telecast. Fox was drafted, 4th to the Kings?
Was it 5th?
Let's take a look. De'Aaron Fox was drafted.
I want to say 5th, but I could be wrong.
Let's take a look. 5th. He was drafted 5th by the Kings, 2017 draft. This kid's such a beast, man.
Man, I wanted Fox so bad.
Damn, this kid's so good.
I still feel like I won. They were talking about Fox versus my guy from the Lakers. I was like, Fox, no questions asked. I don't care. Fox. Fox Alonzo. Forget about it. Give me De'Aaron Fox all day over Lonzo. Yeah, me and my boy was arguing about Fox versus Lonzo from that long.
Yeah, forget about that. Give me Fox all day over Lonzo. It's not even close if you ask me.
Word.
Not even close, man. Let's take it to the phones. Shout out everybody in the chat, in the YouTube chat. This is Postgame Live Saturday edition. You are watching the #1 show for Knicks fans, by Knicks fans, where we talk about Knicks news, Knicks rumors, and post-game live fan discussions after every game, featuring live callers. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We got Tommy Beer coming on in a little bit. Tommy's coming in. And so let's get to the phones. Will from LI. He wants to talk about the Frank trade rumors. Will, how you feeling, bro?
What's up, CPJS? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you feeling, bro?
Pretty good, man.
Hold on, right? I think it was, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, where it broke on Twitter that the Knicks are, shopping Frank for, or the rumors is that they're going to shop Frank on draft night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, overall, I just feel a little disappointed. I just feel like, I don't know if we give him a fair shake overall. He had his opportunities, but, I just hope this is not a Victor Oladipo situation, but ultimately it looks like, the experiment for Frank is pretty much done, that he's about to get out of here.
Well,
how y'all thought about that?
I mean, I don't think, so it was an article for those of you that hadn't seen it. It was an article that Mark Berman of the New York Post had wrote. I mean, listen, we've been hearing about the Frank trade rumors all year. You know what I mean? From the offseason to the trade deadline to after the trade deadline, we heard that that Orlando wanted him. You know what I mean? So, I've said it from, for a while now. I just feel like the amount of point guards they brought in, Jay Ellis, between last year and now that have been prioritized from playing time, combined with Frank's up and down play, ineffective for the most part. I just don't see them having much confidence in him, Jay Ellis. So, I mean, have you changed your thoughts on it?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I know this. I know Fizz still likes Moutier. That's for damn fact. And Phil likes DSJ for good reason. And you just don't know what's gonna happen with Frank. Time will tell, man. This can go 30 different ways in this offseason. It really can, because Moutier is gonna cost money. Do we want to spend the money? If we do, are we gonna move Frank to sign Moutier? I don't even know. That sounds weird. But
right.
But we really don't know. We really don't know. But all signs point to we don't have 100% confidence that he'll be a backup for us. At least that's how we feel right now. Especially with Fizz saying in the paper that he sees Frank more as a wing than a point guard.
Yeah, I continue to go back to that interview, and Fizz he was floundered himself, and he was basically like, I don't even want to speak on it, because he himself wasn't too sure where to play the kid. So I think his play isn't just puzzling the fans. I think it's puzzling the coaches. Like, no one really knows what this guy's true fit is. Number one, he's got to get healthy. And number two, I think he's just got to show more. But I don't think you're going to get, like in the article, they're saying they want to try to get a first for him. I think there's no chance you're getting a first-round pick for him. So you might as well keep him. Just keep him and see if you could actually, get some solid role-playing, 7th, 8th guy off the bench type of minutes for him, JL. That's where I'm at right now with Frank.
I'm at with that. At least the G
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Something. Like, he's not gonna get enough burn this season. He's injured still.
Yeah.
They're talking about he's revving up his workouts and stuff. Like, you're gonna rev up now. We only got like 5 games left.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was that looking at the lineups today, and we saw Moutier with DFJ. I don't know if DSJ can play alongside another point guard. Just seeing that just looked awkward on the field. So, I mean, I don't know. It looks like because of this relationship with Moutier that they would rather keep Moutier as a backup one if they did get a Kyrie versus, putting DSJ on the back burner and having him come off the bench. Because I just don't know if DSJ would want to do that. Also, I don't know if I just don't see it working. That's what I'm afraid of. Ultimately. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Legitimate concerns, because ultimately the reason why DSJ is here in the first place is because Luka is over there, and they tried to pair him with Luka, and it didn't work. The team scored, I think, average 10 points less or something like that when he was paired with Luka, and he's a guy who wants to run a team projectively. So
yeah,
I'm kind of with you in that thinking. I'm not sure if actually having him kind of play off ball or be pairing him with Moutier is going to work for multiple reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure either. You know what I mean? He's a ball dominant guard. Doesn't shoot that well or efficiently to play off ball with a guy like Moutier. Time will tell, though. I think it's still early. I like DSJ as a plan C fallback option if we're just gonna go the youth route and keep developing. But I think that also depends on where we go in the draft, what position we end up picking in the draft. Is Ja Morant, who's having an outstanding year in college. I mean, would we still consider him? That's one of the things I'm gonna ask Tommy Beer when he comes on.
Yeah, it's fun because Ja still has I mean, I know that the passing is better than DSJ, but his defense is worse. And the shooting is not there either. So, it's not. I don't know if it's gonna be that much of a difference, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what Tommy has to say.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm looking forward to that. It just seems like there's three options. It's either the dream situation works, we get Kyrie. Doesn't work out, we fall on DSJ, or if we think that Ja Morant has a better upside than him and we fall like third or fourth in the draft, we go with Ja. So, that's all I wanted to say. Keep it up, guys. Love the stuff. Also, I'm going to be there on the watch party this upcoming Friday. I'm going to try to get in on the statement games also. Love the work you guys do, and keep it up, man.
Appreciate you, Will. Thanks for calling in, as always, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
All righty. Take care, y'all.
All right. That was, I think that was Will from LI. I think I might have hung up on somebody else by accident. If you're watching and you're listening and you just dropped off the call back in. That was my fault. Yeah, Jay Ellis, Ja Morant he's having an impressive campaign out there at the college level. Tonight he will be playing in the Ohio Valley Championship, his conference championship. As Murray State is trying to get to the big dance, March Madness.
Please win this, please.
Yeah, man, that'd be interesting to see. You got Duke and UNC tonight. Once again, no Zion, or as we hear, no Zion, but you do have Cam and RJ. And then you also have, I believe Jared Culver is also playing tonight as well. So, and he's somebody who is considered to be on the rise. So.
That's a game to watch.
That's a game to watch, man. That is a game to watch. But, Ja Morant led Murray State over Jacksonville State down the stretch, quarter and one, and won the game for his guys. So he's a leader.
Yeah.
He's
a leader. He is a leader. I have to see. Yeah, I want to see what his interviews and his energy is like, too.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like when I saw Fox for the first time, he just oozed leadership. Like when he talked, I felt it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was big time Fox, man. Big time. Yeah. Big time Fox. I already knew he was going to be doing this.
Yeah. Morant, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Jersey, JL. It's John from Jersey. Wants to talk about Zion and free agency. John, how you feeling, bro?
Hey, what's going on, CP and JL?
Hey, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I just really feel like the Knicks they gotta draft Zion Williamson in the draft to lure in these top tier superstar free agents. I really feel like they gotta land Zion.
You think so?
And then I could see them getting Kyrie Irving and I could see Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant coming to play in New York. What do you guys feel about it?
What do you think, JLZ? Do you think Zion is a prerequisite to get these free agents? What do you think?
I think it helps. I think it definitely helps. The more promising players you have on your team, the better. That's just what it is. But it's not really up to us right now. The ping pong balls have to fall.
Right.
If the ping pong balls fall, then I'm pretty sure we'll get him. But I agree with you in that sentiment that if he comes here, then players might follow. But who knows? It's all speculation at this point.
All speculation at this point.
That definitely would help.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, CPJ, just want real quick, man. I just appreciate what you guys are doing, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks
Knicks
for the support,
Nation, we're in this, man. I'm feeling a big summer. I'm feeling that we're gonna have a big summer.
Okay, I hope so, man. I hope so, man. And thanks for the support for sure. I hope he's right, JLs.
Me too, man. I hope he's right. This summer, man, is gonna be one of the biggest summers in Knicks history.
Factuals, man. Biggest summers in Knicks history. All right, I think we might have Tommy here. Let me just mess around with some things here. Yeah, I'm gonna disable you here. I'm gonna take this call, Jay Ellis. I'll let you run it, and let me see if I can get Tommy in here. Zay, you up next, man. It's a Zay and Jay Ellis show.
All right.
For a second. What's up, Zay?
Putting CP in the closet. Let's go.
Hello?
Hello?
I don't know what happened to Zay. Zay, you there? All right, I'll put Zay in timeout. Jamal from Jersey wants to talk about the game in free agency. Jamal, how you feeling, bro?
What's up, CP and Jay Ellis? How y'all doing today?
Good, man.
All right.
First off, I'm going to definitely see y'all at the viewing party. And as far as free agency concerned, with the season winding down, I'm kind of getting worried more.
Mm-hmm.
My first worry is at 12:01 that night, Fizz not giving Moutier both max slots, which I think is possible with what they got going on.
Yo, we got to get to the bottom of this, man. What kind of blackmail does Moutier have on this organization, man?
Oh, man.
We see Kadeem Allen, the headline.
Yeah, he might call KD and all of them and tell them, no thanks. We got Moutier. He accepted the deal.
Yeah, man.
No thanks.
Kadeem Allen, the headline of the Westchester Knicks, has been doing his thing. He had another solid outing last night, Jay Ellis.
Bring back Kadeem, man.
I'm telling you, man.
Kadeem the Dream deserves to be back.
But on the more serious note, are you guys worried about KD and Kyrie? Like, even if they gave us indications that they might come, that they two are the most unpredictable stars in this league and could leave us at the altar in the 25th hour?
That has questioned my mind. I'm not gonna lie. That has crossed my mind. Both of these guys are so kind of fickle. The wind blows left, they want to go right, and you just really don't know what's gonna go with. You really just don't know.
Yeah,
you really just don't know. I would hope that KD. I mean, oh, there we go. Hey.
Yep. Go ahead. Finish your point, Jay. Also, we'll bring Tommy in.
I was like, I know, like, people want KD and Kyrie, but I would really like, I would like KD as well. But I'm like, I'm hoping maybe. I'm leaning towards maybe a Kemba will be a worth, or a wing.
Okay.
KD, Kawhi, somebody a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Nah, I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, well, let's bring in our guest. He's written for Forbes magazine, Knicks fan, NBA reporter, Tommy Beard joining us. Pleasure to have you, Tommy. How you feeling today, man? Happy Saturday, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, fellas. Happy to be on. And, a little bit nicer out here in the New York City area. A little sunshine out today, so good to see.
Absolutely, man. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, and beautiful day to talk Knicks indoors, I guess, right?
Word. I always go to Tommy for the stats, man. That's my.
Tommy is the man when it comes to the stat. Yo, Tommy, do you have like an Elias Sports Bureau encyclopedia that you just like plug into your back of your head like the Matrix or something? How do you come up with these stats, man?
I retweeted more of your stats than anybody else.
Facts, man. Facts.
Appreciate it, fellas. Appreciate that. A lot of it's basketball reference stuff. I just always had a love for statistics, numbers. And I think, obviously, they don't tell the whole story, as Knicks Twitter's quick to remind you if you tweet anything negative about one of the players. But I think they help paint a picture. No one particular stat is going to give you everything you need to know. But I think it's beneficial to kind of get a view of each player, where he's at in a particular time, and give you a little bit of a historical context, how well they're playing in comparison to other rookies or other Knick rookies, etc. Obviously it's not the be-all, end-all numbers, and as many people point out, you can skew any type of statistic to kind of fit whatever narrative you want to tell. I just kind of like to put the numbers out there and let people decide for themselves. I don't, obviously they're going to support some viewpoints and prove some other viewpoints possibly wrong in the short term at least. But I think at least having those numbers help inform a discussion.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, man. And one guy putting up a lot of numbers, you just wrote your last article on him. That's Money Mitchell Robinson, man. Yeah. 23 straight games with a block shot. His last 6 games coming into this one, 12 points, 10 boards, 4 blocks, 73% field goal shooting. His block numbers are in the categories of David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal. What's your general take on Mitchell Robinson's season so far?
It's really, you try to kind of temper your optimism and try to keep things in perspective with young players. He's a 20-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. As we know, didn't play a second of organized basketball last season, but he's really playing at a ridiculously high level right now. When you factor in his limited playing time, I was just before I hopped on here, I was looking at the numbers over the next last 7 games.
Of course you were.
His per 36 minutes are insane. 16.3 points, 14.7 rebounds, 5.3 blocks per 36. All right, that's good. Obviously, we know that's crazy. The block rate is ridiculous, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. To me, what may be the most impressive number for Mitch Robinson post-All-Star break, this dude is shooting 80% from the free throw line.
Wow.
So he's making 70% of his field goals on the season, and he's shooting 80% from the free throw. I mean, you just don't see that type of efficiency. There's only been 2 players in NBA history that have shot 70% from the floor for a season. That's Wilt Chamberlain and DeAndre Jordan.
Damn.
Both of
that
those
is crazy, man.
Jordan shot below 50% from the free throw line in all 3 of those years, in the 40s and in the 30s one time, and Wilt was like 51% or something from the free throw line. So if Mitch Rob can shoot, let's say 65%, 70% consistently from the free throw line, you just don't see the type of, there's a Clint Capella comparison that's been made quite often. I think that's a dude that is similar in a lot of respects. But yeah, if Robinson can continue to perform efficiently, remember, this is a guy that's averaging a double-double, and the Knicks never run a play for him.
Yeah, right.
Everything's off garbage, offensive rebounds, putbacks, hustle points. Mm-hmm. We've seen it just a little bit more frequently when he's been doing a little bit better job of rim running and pushing his guy underneath the basket, catching, turn around, and dunking. So I think once the Knicks start to run a few plays for him, that's going to increase his scoring average. But yes, as a long story short to answer your question, mm-hmm. I think if you redrafted the 2018 draft right now, we'd probably be drafting the lottery. And he really has a tremendous upside. And obviously, the cherry on the top for the Knicks organization is that he's locked into a ridiculously affordable contract. Going to be making less than $2 million each of the next 3 years, which is incredibly valuable for the organization.
You were going to say something, Jails?
Nah, I want to say shout out to Ninja P for pulling off that move. Ninja P, that's what we call Scott Perry here.
Yeah, that's Scott Perry's nickname. I mean, listen, man, you got to give these guys credit. I also saw that in his senior year, Rivals.com had him, I think, in the top 10 or top 6 ahead of Kevin Knox and maybe one below DSJ.
Had he played, the full story as to why he left Western Kentucky during his freshman year has never been told. There's kind of some mystery around it. But for whatever reason, he obviously didn't play his freshman season at the NCAA level, trained on his own. Had it not been for that, as you mentioned, he was ranked right, based on the rankings. He was with Colin Sexton and ahead of Kevin Knox and Wendell Carter Jr. All those guys were neck and neck in the rankings. So he would have been a lottery pick even if he had played poorly, based on potential, athleticism, height, all that stuff. And he actually shot threes, at a decent clip in high school. So yeah, had he played, he obviously wouldn't have slipped into the second round, let alone the second half of the first round. So credit to Scott Perry and the Knicks for scooping him up at 36 overall.
Absolutely, man. Let's swing it to the draft. That was another article that you had released earlier this week or last week. You released your first mock draft of the season. Knicks, obviously, right now we are waning between the 1st and the 5th pick, according to the Tankathon. Let's start with the obvious, the guy in the room, Zion Williamson. What's your take on Zion? Who's your NBA comparison to Zion? Out of curiosity.
I mean, I guess some freakish combination of Barkley and Sean Kemp, and I think it's really difficult to kind of put him into a category or try to come up with a comparable player because he's such a unique specimen. As I mentioned in that mock, actually, dude his listed playing weight is 285 pounds.
That was insane to read.
That's 20 pounds heavier than Embiid. That's
Oliver Miller. You said.
Yeah. You know, Charles Oakley, that's 40 pounds heavier than Oakley and 30 pounds heavier than Ewing, you know, for some Knick comparison. So it's really difficult. I mean, just to have a man with that type of, at that playing weight, but to be as explosive and as quick. Obviously, there are flaws there. I think there's kind of two schools of thought, you know. Some folks that have just seen the highlights in the YouTube and the Instagram stuff think, oh my God, he's the next Jordan or LeBron or Tim. He's not on those guys' level in terms of franchise-altering talent. You know, his shot needs a lot of work. His mechanics, his elbow flies way out. Right. I'd be surprised if he shot anything higher than 25, 30% from three-point territory as a rookie, you know, his first few years in the league. But so that being said, he's not on those guys' level. That being said, to me, he's the no-brainer #1 overall pick just because his upside is so ridiculously high. He's going to get points in transition every single night. Yeah. He's a menace in the open court. And to me, what makes him so special is his defensive versatility. Yeah. You know, kind of some folks that I don't think watch too much NBA, the Mike Franceses of the world, and the like, complain he doesn't have a position in the NBA.
And listen, I'm a fan of Mike, man. I'm a huge fan of the Pope. But I just, you know, what do you think when he says that he has no position in the NBA? How do you feel about that?
I love Mike. Mike's my dude. I've been watching him since I was a little kid.
Absolutely.
But he clearly just doesn't watch as much NBA basketball as a guy that has a primetime show on in New York should watch. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, when guys like Francesa, they'll say he doesn't have a position in the NBA. He doesn't play center. He doesn't play small forward. How are you going to talk about positions in 2019 in the NBA? I mean, that's the story of the NBA today, is that positionless basketball, to get guys that can kind of, you know, flow back and forth from small forward to power forward to center. You know, the best team in arguably NBA history often starts Draymond Green, an undersized 6'7" small forward at center. So when you get a guy like Zion Williamson that has the strength and the bulk to box out and, you know, defend the paint down low, but also switch 1-5 pick and rolls and stay in front of quick perimeter players out on the top of the key. That's a really, really valuable player. When you watch him, he plays hard, has a high motor. He could have put it on cruise control and went to like a UCLA or some other school, but he wanted to play for Coach K. They get after it defensively. So I think he's a no-brainer #1 overall pick. And I obviously, like all of us, extremely excited. I think if he came to New York, there would be such a palpable buzz in the city.
Box office, man.
It would have been a beautiful thing to see.
Question about his weight, though. You know, a lot of people said they want him to lose weight because they feel like it might be an injury risk. But do you feel like he should? Because, you know, the fact that he is that size and that heavy, it allows him to bang with these other guys. So I'm curious to think, what do you think about him losing weight? Is that have to happen, or you feel like he can just kind of play around the way he is? I'm
sure once he gets into an NBA locker room and medical training staff and all that stuff, they'll probably shed him, you know, a couple pounds. The other thing to remember is muscle weighs more than fat. So it's not like he's lugging around, you know, 15 pounds of muscle around his belly. He just happens to be a physical freak in terms of his, his build. That's just kind of, he's been playing at that weight. And obviously he had the knee injury now due to the shoe, you know, the shoe
exploding.
Wardrobe malfunction. But yeah, I mean, his probable NBA playing weight's probably closer to 275 than 285, but it's definitely not like he's got to lose 20 pounds. You know, I think they're comfortable where he's at.
Okay. Another guy who's intriguing. This is the guy who you have slotted at the Knicks at the 2. Obviously, he's more than likely the front runner for the 2 spot right now in the draft. That's R.J. Barrett. What's your overall opinions on R.J. Barrett and how he could potentially fit with us?
Sure. I think Barrett is one thing you got to remember is he's actually the #1 recruit in his high school class.
Yep.
He was ranked ahead of Zion on everybody's list. More of a, he's definitely an NBA ready player. He's been playing at a very high level, internationally for Canada the last few years. And has performed very well. A better all-around player than Zion. The only player in the country averaging at least 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. So it kind of gives you an idea of what exactly he can bring to the table. Needs to improve, a little bit as a facilitator. His defensive effort kind of waxes and wanes. It's probably not where you'd like to be. But sees the floor well, is an unselfish player. So I think of he actually probably is a little bit of a safer pick than Zion Williamson. But as we talked about, even if the GM, all the scouts in an organization say, listen, I think I'm probably leaning towards R.J. Barrett. You know, the owner of whatever team has the number one pick is going to be like, yo, we got the number one pick. We're about to sell 10 million jerseys and sell out the tickets. So Zion's the number one pick. But I think R.J. Barrett is a very good consolation prize for whatever team gets a number 2 overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, I see, a lot of fans like to, compare the similarities with Timmy in terms of his terrible shot selection and his tunnel vision. But, I like the points that you made in your article with the numbers that he's putting up. He's doing it at Duke. He's, at the creme de la creme. He's playing at an elite level. I still like his mindset. I just like the way he attacks the game. Yes, the defense leaves a lot to be desired, and yes, the tunnel vision, you can see it, and sometimes he does force the issue, but I feel like he has potential to be really good at the next level.
Agreed. He's definitely not a Tim Hardaway one-dimensional player, because if he doesn't score, if he goes into shooting slumps, he still can impact the game defensively. He's a decent rebounder for a player his size, a solid passer. So he's definitely a lot more versatile, proven winner. A lot to like there with R.J. Barrett.
Absolutely, man. Another guy that you had shot up on your boards is Jarrett Culver. He's a guy that a lot of people think his stock is rising a bit. Talk a little bit about Jarrett Culver, what you like about him.
Yeah, he's a 2-guard out of Texas Tech. He's kind of an afterthought in terms of a lottery pick, at the start of the season, but he's played really well for Texas Tech. He's a really safe player in terms of what he brings to the table. He's Texas Tech is one of the top defensive teams in the country, and he's arguably one of the better perimeter defenders in the country. Does a great job on both ends of the ball. Prototypical 2-guard in terms of size, 6'5", close to a 7-foot wingspan. Can get out in transition. He's also been playing a lot of point guard for Texas Tech and kind of facilitating their offense. He doesn't have the same upside of Barrett. He probably won't be a 20. He could be, develops as a high end, a low 20-point scorer, but that's probably a best case scenario. Probably settle into like an 18-pointer range, but also, average 6-7 assists a game. Also, just as important, is the best, is a better defender than Barrett according to most scouts. So I think he's probably in the 4 to 5 range. Ja Morant. The reason I had Culver going 3 in my mock was that if the Cavs fall to 3, it'll be very interesting to see what they do, considering they drafted Colin Sexton at 8 last year.
Yeah.
So I think Culver is. I personally would take Culver ahead of Cam Reddish at this point. So I have him 4, on my big board, so to speak, with Ja Morant number 3.
Okay. Go ahead, JL. You had something?
No, I was just saying, is it the Cam Reddish shooting that's kind of tilting you towards Culver?
Yeah, I just the more I watch a Reddish, I mean, listen, you look at him on paper, he's everything you want in an NBA wing. 6'9", great length. You look at his highlights, can put the ball on the floor. Grabbing a defensive rebound, push it all the way up the court, Euro step, N1, strong around the basket. But his shooting percentages, you don't want to put too much stock in, it's a limited sample size, 25 games or so on his freshman season. But they're just very worrisome. He scored in double digits, I think, 4 of the last 8 games. Hasn't stepped up as much as you'd like without Zion Williamson there. The best case scenario, he has that, that T-Mac look to him. Just that kind of what you hope that what scouts drool over in a wing in today's NBA. And when he really focuses and locks in defensively, just those games, those moments are too few and far in between.
Yeah.
He's too talented to slip too far in the lottery, so I doubt he slips past 5 or 6. But I think if you take him, and miss out on one of those top 3 guys, top 4 guys, I think there is a drop off.
That scouting report sounds like Kevin Knox, Jails.
I was about to say the same thing. Like the guys with the mind issues who don't really have that I want to do it mentality. I was like, do I want to go through that 2 years in a row? I'm not sure.
I agree with you. I think Knox, for better or for worse, is a good comparison from especially his college tape.
Interesting. You had mentioned Ja Morant. And the Knicks are obviously in kind of a point guard conundrum. We bring in DSJ. We don't know where they stand with Moutier. They keep, Frank is always popping up in the trade rumors. You have the Kyrie stuff. Kemba a little bit less so. But in the draft, you have namely John Morant and to a lesser degree Darius Garland. How do you compare both those players, and how do you compare those players to drafting them over DSJ if the Knicks were to go that route?
Sure. I think Garland's going to slip. If the Knicks, assuming they finish with the worst record, obviously they're going to drop past 5, and I think it would be a major reach to take Garland at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he's in the conversation. I suppose he could be if they slip to 5 and they don't like Reddish and they're not in love with Culver, but that would definitely be a reach. As far as Morant, 6'3", athleticism through the roof, kind of a Russell Westbrook clone in terms of just the athleticism, the determination, the aggressiveness he plays with, especially on the offensive end. A little bit slight of build. He's like 175 pounds. Probably needs to bulk up a little bit. In terms of a slashing, penetrating point guard, he's what you want in today's NBA. His three-point shot's a little bit unreliable. Mechanics aren't terrific. You'd like to see him improve that a little bit, if he gets in the gym and, works with a shooting coach, et cetera. But I think can also good defender. Not a great off-ball defender, but he does a pretty good job. Staying in front of his man. Obviously has the athleticism and quickness to spare. So I think if the Knicks are in that 3 or 4 range, and obviously Zion Williamson and Barrett off the board, Morant is the guy they should target. At that point, I'd try to trade Dennis Smith Jr. If not, keep him in-house and figure out, who starts next year. Maybe have Morant come off the bench behind DSJ. I'm not in love with Dennis Smith Jr.'s game. I just don't know if he's a pure guy you want to lead in the franchise, especially in the best case scenario where you get KD in town. Whether you add somebody else. Kyrie, I'm a little bit nervous about. I heard you guys talking before I hopped on. I think there are reasons to be concerned about how Kyrie would fare, kind of under the media scrutiny in New York. But I guess in direct, assuming leaving those guys out of the conversation, I think you have an opportunity to draft Morant. I think you have to do it, even if you have Dennis Smith Jr. on the roster. Smith's already in his, this will be his finishing up his second. So he only has 2 years left on his rookie scale deal. At some point, you're going to have to figure out, do I want to extend this guy? How much am I going to pay him the year? Is he worth a $15 million a year player? Defensively, as we saw today, the numbers look good, 17, 5, and 5. But what did De'Aaron Fox do? Pumped in 30 points and put on a show.
Love De'Aaron Fox, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it pains. I'm sure it pains Knicks fans if they had the opportunity to draft De'Aaron Fox, where how much. But that's a story for another day as well. But to my point, Fox ate Smith's lunch.
Yeah, he did.
That's the kind of thing. Even when you put up 17 points, I think he shot a poor percentage, 9 of 17, I think. That's kind of the good and bad. The numbers look decently, but the plus minus isn't ideal. I think if you have the opportunity to draft Jay Moran, you have to do it.
Go for it. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Jay Ellis. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, we really don't know where they stand on these guards. And as much as I'm with the pick the best player available at your slot, I just wonder if they would still go with Morant. But I support that. I definitely support it.
I can see the Knicks doing that PR move when they draft Morant and then give that. Well, we have full confidence that Dennis Smith Jr. Don't feed me that.
No, they got to start with Frank first, Jay Ellis. They got to start all the way at the bottom. Oh, man. Tommy, how you looking on time, man?
I'm good. Keep firing away, fellas.
Okay. All right. Let's take a call. Let's go to Kevin from North Carolina. He watches a lot of Duke and UNC. Kevin wants to talk about the off-season plans. Kevin, how you feeling, bro?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear, bro.
Hey, man, first off, I got to start off like this, man. I know y'all been talking about it already, but, man, we messed up not thinking the right way a couple years ago back, man. We should have had Fox, man. We started winning those games for no reason a couple years ago. We messed around and drafted Frank.
Yeah, well, Fox went fifth to the Kings. Went fifth.
I still remember the Endor game winner.
Yeah, man.
Endor.
No games for no reason.
Ugh.
But the question I had was and I'd like to get Tommy. All of you guys' point of view.
Okay.
You, Jay Ellis and Tommy. What would you guys' view of a failed offseason be? Like mine would be like 6 pick, and we waste our money on like we max out some dude averaging like 18 and 5. Like that would be my scenario.
Yeah.
Of like a failed off season. I want to see what you guys think about that.
Tommy, go ahead and kick that off, man. What's your idea of a bad off season?
Yeah, I think Kevin's got the important thing is the worst case scenario for the Knicks this offseason is not striking out completely in free agency. The worst case scenario for the Knicks this offseason is spending poorly.
Yeah.
You know, because you have $70 million to spend. That doesn't mean you got to max out Boogie and
please, no Boogie, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to, if you don't get KD, then you got to reassess the entire situation. And do we kick that money, towards next season, or do we trade for an expiring contract and get back another first-round pick?
Yeah.
I think that's the important point.
JLs, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Tommy here. Just don't max somebody out, and more importantly, the years. I think that's even more important. Like if you overpay a little bit for for a short-term deal, then all right, I won't be as mad. We trying to stay afloat, look competitive for a season or so. But you can't max somebody out for 4 or 5 years. That's just not it. We can't max out like a second tier star, and then we just have another Tim Hardaway Jr. situation.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Both points I agree with.
Right.
I don't want to tie the success of this Porzingis trade to this offseason. I hope they don't put pressure on themselves to do that. I've been saying that. So my idea is, let's say we get the 5th or the 6th pick and then we max out a Vucevic or, somebody like that. Yeah. Boogie Cousins and Jimmy Butler. Oh, man. Please.
Don't max
Don't do it, man. Just continue the course. Listen, if it's going to get ugly, it's going to get ugly, but just keep that flexibility. And as Tommy said, you have the cap space that you can use as a weapon to purchase a guy on a terrible contract to get more assets. That's the thing. If we're going to be building slowly, we got to also be thinking of bringing in more assets and building the fortress.
Right.
Also consider how good the Knicks are.
And also, my last question for Tommy, and you can end the call after this. But okay. I want to see what he thinks about it. If we fall out the top 3, what do you think about trading back and trying to get some assets? And appreciate the call.
Yep. Thanks, Kevin.
Good question. I think that would actually make a lot of sense. Obviously, it's dependent on how the scouts feel about Reddish and Culver and the rest of those guys near the top. But I think that would make a lot of sense, depending if you have somebody that wants to jump up. And a player that they like. The issue is, and it always sounds good, in theory, in order for you to jump backwards, that requires another team wanting to move up.
Right.
Whereas if there's a drop off, from tier 1 to tier 2, and a big drop off after tier 3, it's typically unlikely that another team's willing to trade up. But I agree with you that it would definitely make a lot of sense to at least explore every opportunity to see if that's a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, you got Atlanta sitting there with potentially 2 first-rounders. Yeah. The Celtics will have 3 first-rounders.
How do you not run out of first-rounders?
It's Danny Ainge, man. It's Danny Ainge, the riverboat gambler, man. I'm telling you. That guy has been the executive of the decade, man. Give him credit. Definitely give him credit. Tommy, just keep me posted on the time. Ernesto from the chat says, if the Knicks end up with the 5th pick, who would you draft, and which combo of top free agents would you like to sign?
I think if they drop to 5, again, I would assuming that Morant and the 2 guys are off the board. Culver would be the guy I'd lean towards. Again, I think Culver kind of fits in that nice. A lot of it. The thing about the NBA, the draft that kind of complicates matters a little bit is it's before free agency.
Yep. I've been arguing like football, it has to go the other way around, man. Yeah. It has to be free agency first. Then once you strike out, then you could really draft for need.
Exactly. There's obviously a lot of uncertainty there. You assume that by the late June, the Knicks will have a good indication of what Durant's idea will be. Through obviously nothing official, but via backdoor channels, and to somebody's point, as I was listening before I hopped on, relying on Kevin Durant, because I think we could all agree that Mills and Perry and the Knicks front office have been given an indication that Durant is either likely to sign or heavily considering signing. But it's March 9th right now. Shout out to Biggie. And there's still 3 months. Even if Kevin Durant told them on June 30th at 11:59, hey guys, I'm signing with you. On July 1st at 12:01, he might change his mind. So there's just so much uncertainty there that just makes it really hard to predict.
Until he signs, you just don't know, JLs. Until he signs, you just don't know. Tommy, as a media guy, what do you think about? There's been so much talk about, Kyrie and Kevin Durant and their, I guess, displeasure with the media treatment about the rumors and stuff like that, and kind of the backlash and all that. What do you take on that as a fellow writer? What's your opinion on that backlash?
Sure, and I think it's a good debate to have. It's worthy of a conversation. I'll start off by saying that a lot of the media, it's ridiculous how overly concerned they are with clickbait and dumb questions.
Thank you.
and stupid, innuendo and rumors and who let's overhear a guy's having a conversational hallway. That definitely means they're going to team
right.
So all that stuff is ridiculous. But I understand, the media parent companies it's very difficult to monetize on how to people's readership and newspapers form. So all that aside, I totally understand a player's perspective that it's a pain to deal with annoying, idiotic, immature media members. I totally get that. They have every right. That being said, they get paid a lot of money to do what they do.
Yeah.
And part of their contract includes, it's in the CBA, you have to either before shoot around or after shoot around, and after each game. You don't even have to do it before games now. It's just after each game. You have to avail yourself to the media for, I think it's like 8 minutes or whatever the case is. So let's say that's a half an hour a week. If you don't want to have to deal with that drama, I totally understand it. My church league team could use a fifth. Every Thursday night. Right. You're gonna have to take a little bit of a pay cut, but we'll chip in $5 or $10 a piece, to bring Kyrie. So it's a fine line you walk there. You can't complain about the media because the media helps to. Obviously, their talents first and foremost, but the media helps to generate off-season conversation, rankings lists. We're talking about the Knicks right now on a nice afternoon on a Saturday because so many people have a vested interest in it, and that vested interest helps sell tickets. The ticket sales and jersey sales and clothing and hat sales all go into the big pot of money that pays these guys $20 million a year to play hoop. So if you take the money for hooping, you have to go with other stuff that goes with it, and that other stuff that goes with it is dealing with the annoying media. So I have a difficult time feeling too bad for a guy. Again, it's every right. You have every single right in the world to say, I'm not going to answer questions. So then you can take a fine and donate that money to charity, or you can choose not to play in the NBA. Nobody's going to bother you. When I have a bad game on Thursday night, nobody asks me, how did you play? How come you missed that three, son?
Yeah, right.
But I got to pay $5 a night to reserve court time as opposed to being paid $500,000 a game. That's the I think that the pros and the cons of it.
Comes with the territory, JLs.
I'm looking for a place to ball. I haven't balled in a minute, Tom. So.
Let me know, LA Fitness. We always need a fourth.
Yeah, so. I'm an LA Fitness all-star myself, man. They call me half court havoc at my location, man.
I'm gonna stretch out.
I can't play full court games no more. I'm just half courting it, man. That's it, man.
Amen. I can do full court strong 1 minute and a half.
After that, it's over with, man. Yao Song in the chat says, do you trust Perry to make the right moves this summer, Tommy? How do you feel about Scott Perry so far, his tenure so far?
I think Knicks fans have every reason to be just very, very pessimistic. A lot of Knicks fans, rightfully so, understandably so, when the Knicks made the Porzingis trade is, you got $70 million in cap space, but I've heard this song before and I've been burned. Okay, we're going to get LeBron and Bosh and Wade, and we end up with Amari Stoudemire's bad knees for $100 million.
Yeah.
It's happened time and time again. I think, yes, those are fair concerns. On the other side of the coin, it'd be really hard not to credit Perry for what he's done. I think Steve Mills being there makes Knicks fans a little nervous because the Tim Hardaway contract was a disaster, as we all know. Yeah. And Mills probably should have zero impact on the decision making. But if you look at it from the day Perry was hired, obviously Mills was responsible for the two awful Hardaway Jr. and Baker contracts. From the day Perry was signed forward, they've been a well-run, successful, smart, forward-thinking franchise. The Noah Vonleh pickup, the guys they picked up on the margins have been successful. And obviously the draft. They had the 9th pick in the draft, the 36th overall pick in the draft, and they walked away from draft day with Kevin Knox struggling, be it, but, still some positive upside, obviously. Mitch Robinson, who is the steal of the draft. I don't think anyone would debate that at this point. And then also Alonzo Trier, as a free agent afterwards. So it's hard to not consider that a grand slam. And again, they have 7 first-round picks in the next 5 years. They haven't traded away a first-round pick. They've maintained their cap space. They enter the season one of the more talented free agent crops we've seen in recent NBA history, and they have more cap space than any other team on the market, and they play in New York. So while it's understandable to be apprehensive given the Knicks' history, I think there's also reason to be optimistic given Perry's decision since the day he took over.
Your boy Ninja P, Jay Ellis. That's what you call it, man. Boy, listen, Perry's been building that treasure chest, man.
What move has he made that you don't like this season? I can't name one.
I think the Mario Hezonja contract.
Okay, there you go.
But
other than that, he's still batting a solid 700 or so. So that's incredible.
But why not, man? Why not? How about the Frank situation? Berman on the post, and we've been hearing it all year, basically, that they've been trying to trade him. We heard after the trade deadline that Orlando wants him. I just continue to feel, Tommy, that point guard after point guard that they bring in and play over this kid, they don't have confidence in him at the point guard position. And it just doesn't seem like they have much confidence in him. Obviously he's been giving them reason to not. But what's your whole take on the Frank situation these last few years and how it's going to play out?
I am one of the few, the proud, the remaining Nilakina Island survivors.
I'm with you. I get stuff every other week from the chat for not trashing Frank.
Yeah, we have Frank Ntilikina telethons almost every other game when he doesn't play,
so
man.
Be careful, they're gonna turn on you.
Facts.
Ntilikina slander will not be tolerated while I'm bring it on. No, but listen, he has not been bad offensively. He's been atrocious, terrible, whatever. I don't have the Stephen A. Smith vocabulary to use the words as bad as he's been offensively. There's no denying that. To ask him to be a good offensive player right now is an unrealistic stretch. He needs to go from awful to bad. If he's just a bad offensive player, I think he can be a valuable NBA player. So here's my thinking with Ntilikina. And I tweeted this earlier today because of Fox hit those 2 early threes in the first quarter. Smith went underneath the screens, didn't challenge, and Fox knocked down 2 of those first. He had 8 points like the first 2 minutes or whatever. Finished with 30, a career high. In today's NBA, the 3-point line is very, very important. Nobody disputes that. But what gets lost, it's not the ability just to make 3-pointers. It's the ability to stop your opponent from making pointers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a guy that's an elite perimeter defender, and as a rookie, as an 18-year-old rookie, Frank was an elite perimeter defender, not just a good perimeter defender. In terms of, you look at the synergy numbers, was second in the NBA in terms of on-the-ball defense on pick and rolls when the bullheader as the primary defender. Only Drew Holiday was the only guy ahead of him. The analytics back it up, as the eye test does, that Frank was an elite perimeter defender. Now, again, part of this is he has to, if he can ever develop a league average 3-pointer, which personally I think he can. He shot 40% from 3-point range in the French Pro A League as a teenager. Shot the ball well. Was around like a 55% true shooting percentage in international competition against top competition was in France. Was terrible as a rookie, but if you look at his mechanics, there's no hitch, elbow alignment, everything you kind of want from a scouting perspective. it's there. Personally, I think his confidence is shot. He's never recovered. I don't think the coaching staff has done a good job supporting him and putting him in position to succeed. Part of that's on him. Part of that's on the coaching staff. But again, assuming he can be a decent, not good, a decent offensive player, a guy like that is very valuable. Especially, let's say, best case scenario, Knicks get KD, Zion, or Barrett, and another top tier free agent. Is that Kemba? Is that Kyrie? Is that Jimmy Butler for less than the max, hopefully? But KD says, I'm coming. I just need one more guy with me. Okay, if the Knicks have to overpay for Kyrie or whatever the case might be, they max out Kyrie. They do what they got to do. In that dream scenario, best case scenario, which isn't certainly it seems somewhat plausible. In that best case scenario, do you want a guy like Dennis Smith Jr. if you already have Durant, Kevin Knox, Kemba Walker? You don't need another scorer. What you need is a guy that's willing to stand in the corner on offense and then guard the other team's best perimeter player on defense. So he can rest, so Kemba can rest, or Kyrie can rest. I personally would love to see that 5-man unit with Ntilikina on the floor and Mitch Robinson on the back end. Therefore, you have a nice balance of offensive guys that can focus offensively. And then you have Ntilikina who can stand in the corner and hopefully knock down corner threes. I mean, Andre Robertson is a 35% free throw shooter. He just signed a $30 million contract with the Thunder. He's an important piece to their puzzle, and he was afraid to shoot free throws. Tony Allen was first-team All-Defensive player, but he was a valuable player in the NBA because he was a winning player in the NBA, even though he was a big-time net negative offensively. There's a spot in the NBA. The Knicks, if again in their best-case scenario, are going to need somebody that doesn't require the ball and that doesn't require a lot of money, and I think that kind of sets up well for Ntilikina going forward.
I agree. I think to your point, once this team improves, the talent, I've been saying this, I think you'll see the value of Frank. But Jay Ellis, it's no secret, his shot is way off. His confidence is definitely shot. Whether this coach or the secret sauce of Craig Robinson just hasn't been working, I just feel like we should just keep him because I don't see us getting anything of value for him. We're definitely not getting a first for him. So why not just keep him? You have him on the cheap. Keep him and just let the development play out. Your thoughts, Shales?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. You know where I am. I know it seems like the writing is on the wall because the way Fizz is kind of overlooking him a lot, and you figure that the front office might be trying to give Fizz the players that he wants. So it seems like the writing might be on the wall for Frank. But like I said before, we don't know what's going to happen in the offseason. Moutier might be moved. Who knows? But I really like Frank's long-term potential. Whether he's here or not, I agree with Tommy that the jump shot is going to fall. Before he even went down, he was shooting around 40% from three. And I think he took down to 38. And he started shooting like that in the beginning of the season as well before his confidence went there. So I do believe he was able to be a really, really consistent three-point threat. He just needs time and he needs that confidence, man. And I hope the Knicks are able to give it to him at some point.
Yeah.
I think it's important to point out, as you guys said, he's the type of player that looks good playing alongside good players. Right. Whereas Moutier and Dennis Smith Jr. to a certain extent look good playing alongside a bad team where they can get up their points and get up their shots. What Moutier does well and what he brings to the table, it kind of gets lost in the sauce when you're on a bad losing team that isn't surrounded by other quality.
I tell you, man, this fan base is ready to run Moutier out of here. The first bus out on April 10th, Jay Ellis. Moutier has to be a goner. One last question if you have time, Tommy.
One last one. Let's do it.
All right. My guy, Alex Collins. Shout out my guy, Alex Collins. He checks in on this show every night from Ireland.
Yeah, man.
Live post-game. He wants to know your thoughts on Damian Dotson. What's your take on Dotson, and what's your role? What do you see? How do you see his role developing over time?
First off, respect to all fans overseas. People staying up to 2, 3 in the morning to watch games. A lot of credit to those guys. I think Dotson is a good player. I don't know exactly what his upside is in terms. I think he can be a solid 7th, 8th guy in a rotation. brings a little bit to on both ends of the floor, is able to defend well on the perimeter, which is something you don't see a lot from the Knicks these days. Again, I think it's difficult to to look too closely at the numbers, defensive rating, et cetera, when you're playing alongside guys like Knox and the Ennis of the world, that struggle defensively. Obviously, Dotson is, his success is going to be if he can consistently knock down the three-pointer, be above average, three-point shooter, as he's done this season. So they have him locked in at, I think it's 1.8 or around there, under $2 million with a team option next season. So if they were to cut him loose and waive him, it would only clear, I think, $700,000 or so. Yeah. So I expect them to hold on to him, exercise that team option, and depending on who the Knicks bring in, obviously, if they really reshuffle the deck, they're going to need and dedicate the majority of their cap space to a stud like Durant and another max level player. You're going to need valuable contributors on minimum level contracts. So that's why guys like Mitchell Robinson and the Dotsons and Alonzo Triers, et cetera, will have a extra value.
JLs, that's our guy, man. Free Dot. I see him as a good, solid rotational piece as well. Obviously, you want to see him be a more consistent shooter, especially from three. But you love how they run those curl screens for him, his off-ball defense kind of gets, he kind of slacks off a little bit, kind of loses his man a little bit. But I like Dotson, man. Go ahead, wrap up with Dotson, JLs.
Yeah, man. Best case scenario, Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't dribble that much. Hit a few threes a few times. I feel like he needs to work on his finishing around the rim. I feel like he's kind of been missing a lot of those. But overall, I really love his two-way potential. I really love the way he plays defense on the perimeter. And I think he has like a little bit. I feel like there's a hint of a clutch gene in there. There's a hint of a clutch gene. If the game is on the line, I think he might be able to hit a corner three or two. I think that's in him. It remains to be seen though if he's ever that level or he's just being a good rotational guy.
Yeah.
Bare minimum, he'll be a great rotational guy.
Yeah. Nah, Dotson's our guy, man. Dotson's our guy. Well, Tommy, man, it was definitely great to have you on. You definitely dropped a lot of gems on this show. We appreciate the value that you brought to us, man. Hopefully you'll come back again, and maybe after the lottery, and we'll talk some drafts, some more. Continued success and continued luck to you. As is a custom on the show, I'll put the camera on you, and you could just tell everybody where to find you at. And appreciate it again, man.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Great talking. Always down for some intelligent, informed, passionate Knicks conversation. So thanks for having me on. And Tommy Beer on Twitter. A lot of nerdy stats and stuff like that. Yes. You guys, thanks for having me on, fellas. Be good.
Oh, man, Tommy, appreciate you again, man. And, hey, that was Tommy Beer, Forbes Magazine contributor, NBA writer.
Awesome guest.
Great guest, JLs. He's really dropped a lot of gems for us, man. And to Tommy, definitely appreciate it. All right, let me get Jay Ellis back in here. That was a good one, Jay Ellis, man.
That was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, man. That was really good, man. Shout out everybody in the chat. Give us a thumbs up for that Tommy Beer guest segment. That was really good, man. Really good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Absolutely. Let me get you back in here, Jay Ellis. All right, we got Jay Ellis back. All right, and you're back, man.
That's simple.
That's simple, man. That's simple. That's how we do it, man. You got to be flexible,
Yo, hit that like button over there.
Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Shout out everybody in the chat. CP the Artist, Alex Collins, Charles Reynolds, Knicks 1904. How's everybody doing today on this Saturday? Let's talk statement games. And tell you guys how you guys can win this hat for tomorrow night's game, Knicks versus Timberwolves. Let me just finish orientating myself here. Shout out Tyon Reed. Charles Reynolds says, how do we feel about Ellenson? How you feel about Ellenson?
He might be worth keeping. I don't know. He came out the gate pretty well. Back-to-back 13-point games. I'm not really high or low on Ellison at this point. He's had some solid games. He's kind of a castaway from the Pistons. He showed some flashes. If anybody can get anything out of him, it would be Fizdale.
Ninja P and crew.
Yeah, there's something there. There's something there.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he had his moments. You know, nothing too crazy. Obviously, first couple games he started out hot. You know, couple games now he's kind of tailed off. Defensively, leaves a lot to be desired, but he moves well, moves the ball well, dribbles the ball well. I think he's all right. You know,
he has the potential to be good defensively. The first game especially, it seemed like he was running a lot off of adrenaline. He was pretty good defensively that first game.
Yeah.
After that, though, I'm not sure if he had that same level of intensity. I don't know if it's the minutes or, you know, he's just not consistent as of yet. We'll see what happens.
Knocks down the corner three, well.
Yeah, knocks down.
I
he
like
shoots
that.
better from three than two, seems like.
Yeah. Definitely I like that about young Ellenson. So shout out to Henry. As I'm just tweaking your video a little bit here, JL. Shout out to everybody in the chat once again. How are we looking on Periscope and Facebook, JLs?
Let's see. For like June. What's good? Okay, what's good? I see Facebook.
Shout out to everybody on Facebook and Periscope. Go ahead.
Shout out to Mark Lazarus on Facebook. I see you. Yep. Shout out to me, Peter. He says we need the Ball brothers on here.
Yeah. Where's LeAngelo at? Get LeAngelo on here, man.
I don't know.
We need LeVar. LeBron silenced him.
Yeah, definitely did.
LeBron silenced LeVar Ball, man. We got to get LeVar back on here, man.
Yeah, and shout out to Nigel too.
Shout out Nigel. What's going on, Nigel?
Shout out to June. He was on the Facebook and jumped onto the YouTube.
Okay. Shout out to June. What's going on, June? Jack Rhodes in here. What up, Jack? Hema King. She's in here. What's going on? KnicksFanTV Dave, what up?
Word. Give me shout out my chat.
Yeah,
Young Simba in here on a Saturday.
Always, man. Young Simba in here on a Saturday.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, man?
Iverson Boston was good, man. I see you.
So they said Jared Culver finished with a good game. What was his stats? Somebody in the chat, can you pull up his stats? Let us know what Jared Culver did tonight. Hey, we need options, JLs. We got an 86% chance of not getting the first pick, so yeah, you guys better get used to these names.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. We gotta learn.
We gotta talk about everybody. We gotta talk about everybody, man.
We gotta talk about everybody.
Hell yeah. Crossfire paper, what's going on? All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell you guys how you're gonna be able to win this brand new Knicks snapback. This is not your gas station flatback, JLs. This is brand new.
Get in the camera.
New era. Get that in there. Look at that. Get that. See that shiny emblem right there? Brand new, baby.
Okay, that looks real.
Brand new. So we're going to tell you guys how you can win that during tomorrow night's Knicks versus Timberwolves matchup. And that is courtesy of Statement Games. Let me just pull up my window here. And here we go. And let me get JL's camera in here as well. Shout out Nick Reyes from Statement Games. What's going on, Nick?
I'm trying to find my state home, man.
You trying to find your
Spent like a half hour trying to sign in.
Okay.
Here we go. Wait a minute. All
right, here we go.
Let's see. Minnesota.
There we go. All right, so we're going to tell you guys how to play Statement Games, right? This is how it goes. Statement Games, once again, is a prop bet game. It is free to play. First thing you're going to do right now, go to statementgames.com and create a free account. Once again, it is free. All right, do not be on the outside looking in whenever we give away game tickets and jerseys and you guys are like, where was I when this was happening? I'm telling you how to play right now. So you're going to go to statementgames.com. You're going to create your free account. Okay, once you create your free account, you're going to see the game lobby. You're going to come down to where's this game? Okay. All right. Now I don't see the game. Nick, I don't see the game. Where's my game, Nick?
It's there.
You see it?
I saw it.
You see it, JLs? All right, let me refresh. That was pretty lousy for the demonstration. That was pretty lousy. All right, let me restart over. Let me start over about demonstration there. Shout out to everybody in the chat for bearing with us.
Yeah, man.
These things happen. Okay. I do not. I don't see the game. You see yours?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I see mine.
Let me see. I might have already went into the game. Let me see something here.
I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Shout out Dave. What's going on, Dave?
Word.
All right, let me just.
All right, well, me my shout outs while you figure it out.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Let's go.
Yo, shout out to Ivan Balser. Thank you. Charles Glasser. Thanks for rocking with us. Andrew Wilson, of course. Oops, upside your head. I like your name.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Maybe because I'm old, but
great name.
I remember Oops upside your head from back in the day. Kevin Weiser, shout out to Kevin Weiser in the chat.
Shout out Kevin.
Yeah. Blackjack. Hashtag new. For anybody who's in here who was new, if you want to be recognized, want to shout out, give me that hashtag new. Yo, what up, Enzo?
Yes, sir.
I see you, man. CH. What up, bro?
Enzo, what's going on? CH, what up?
Ken Ricardo Custer was in early.
Okay. Shout out Ricardo.
I don't know if he's still in here, Ricardo.
Shout out Ricardo.
Shout out to you as well as we get in these statement games together.
Yeah, man. All right, so we're good to go. So basically, I found my game. All right, when you go into statement games, you're gonna see Knicks versus Minnesota Timberwolves contest prize by KnicksFanTV for the hat. Okay, you're gonna click on that. You're gonna click on join. It's gonna take you to the confirmation page, which explains the contest and how many and the prizes that you can win. Once you click proceed, it's gonna take you into the game lobby where you can make your picks. What statement games is all about is prop bets. These are all predictions for the Knicks versus Minnesota Timberwolves game tomorrow night. And let me just slide JLS over a little bit. So these are all the predictions for the Knicks versus Timberwolves game tomorrow night. At your top, you see you have all the predictions looped in. There are about 60 in the pool. You can see team-specific predictions. For example, Minnesota over 113 points. Knicks over 104.5 points. Knicks under. You can see player point prop bets. You can see assists, rebounds, three-pointers, defense, and combos. The name of the game is this. You're going to pick 10. You're going to pick your 10 predictions for tonight's game. You have until 8 o'clock or 8:10 p.m. Eastern to get all your picks in. So you have more than 24 hours. You're going to pick your 10 from most confident to least confident. Simple game. Once again, it is free 99. Once again, the Knicks snapback is on the line. All free. You're going to rank your 10 statements and then just click save.
That's it.
That's it. Share it with a friend. If you know a friend that wants to win the hat, click that share button, and that's it. That is the name of the game. So, Jay Ellis, give me your 2 bold statements. What are you thinking? Have you taken a look? I know some easy ones. There's definitely some easy ones in there.
I'm going with, I always go, this is my go-to. Blocks.
Yeah.
Knicks
easy.
over 3.5 blocks. That's my go-to.
So if you want Knicks 3.5 blocks, you're going to go to the defensive tab. Here you go. This is your most confident one, right, JLs?
That's my most confident one.
Right. So boom, this is the 10-pointer. Now you can move this down if you drag it over on the right-hand side. You can move it down if you're not so confident. You can move it all the way down to 1. Okay. What's your second one, JLs?
And my second one is Knox under 15.5 points.
Oh, no confidence in the rook.
Nope.
No confidence in the rook. So you're going Kevin Knox under 15.5 points. I kind of like both of those as well. I will go. Let's take a look at some combos.
Combos.
Yeah.
And with the combos now.
2 Knicks will have a double. Nah, I don't see that.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Let's go to points.
Took the easier ones.
Yeah. You did. You definitely did. I'll go because it's a back-to-back and we're going to Soda. I'll go DSJ under 20.5 points.
Okay.
And I'll go over 104. 0.5 for the Knicks. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'll go under. I'll go a little bit under. Yeah. I'll go a little bit under. Second night of a back-to-back in Soda. They scored 98 today.
Yep.
I believe they scored, or 92 today. So I'm gonna keep that trend. I'm gonna keep that trend. I think they come in with no legs. And
that's right.
yeah, and I think this one gets over early. So we filled it in from 10 to 7. All right. So let's just say, for argument's sake, we have a couple more that we like. Let's pick Minnesota under 8.5 threes. Let's go over 8.5 threes. A 3-point defense is terrible. Let's go Minnesota over 8.5 threes. Let's go Knicks under 10 threes. I like that. I'll also go under 33.5% from 3 for the Knicks. I will take under 7.5 steals for the Knicks. And I will take under 4.5 blocks for the Timberwolves. And I will go... I'll go total points under 217.5. So I'll take the under 217.5. All right, so we filled out a full sheet. And now what you have to do, you have to click the save button. Make sure you click that save button. Very important.
Yep.
Okay? You can come back and change this as many times as you want until 8:10 p.m. tomorrow. So you have that. So I just click save. Now it's going to take me to a referral page. You guys can refer a friend. If you know a friend that wants to win the hat, that wants to, win Knicks prizes and memorabilia and tickets down the road, invite, share with a friend. Like I said, it's all free to play. If the friend plays, you will get more coins. 10 virtual coins are credited to your account. So there's incentive there for you. If you invite a friend and they play, you get 10 virtual coins. Statement Games is also has a shop coming up, so you'll be able to cash in your free virtual coins for more memorabilia and stuff like that. So overall, like I said, it's free game. It closes tomorrow at 8 p.m. And gotta be in it to win it, J. Ellis.
Yeah.
Gotta be in it to win it, man.
Definitely. So be in it tomorrow. Get your free hat, and you know what? You're gonna give away other stuff later on too. So
that's it, man.
Get used to it. Get your mojo going.
Yes, sir.
And some prizes.
And some prizes, man. All right, let's finish it up. And if you guys in the chat want to call in, if you guys want to fill in the chat Q&A, you can certainly do so. We'll hang around for a little more, and then we'll get on with the Saturday, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. This is Knicks Postgame Live, #1 postgame show on YouTube, on social media, for the fans, by the fans. CP from the KnicksFanTV, my man Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. If you were in here earlier, you heard Tommy Beer from Forbes magazine drop some gems on the squad, on the off season, on the draft as well. So that was a good segment that we just had. We recapped the Knicks versus Kings game. Knicks
Tommy killed it.
Yeah, he was good, man. Very good, man. Very good. Yeah, love to have him on, man. Love to have him on. So Knicks fall to the Kings, and they fall to 40 games under 500. Jails 40 games under 500.
Yeesh. Yeesh.
Well, what can you do, man? What
man, it wasn't looking right. We got our asses handed to us, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But it was expected. It was expected.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect it to win.
Facts.
Really, considering that man Fox is a demon over there, he carried his team to victory.
Carried his team to victory, man. Carried his team to victory. Frank Matos, what's going on, Frank? All the way in West Palm, probably enjoying some warm weather and baseball down there. Shout out to Frank. Chick George, what's going on? Max, I see you. How's it going, Max?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Nope, no calls.
Yeah, no. Everybody's trying to enjoy their Saturday, JLs.
I feel you.
Yeah, man. So on that note, let's wrap up. JLs, right. I'll throw it on to you. Let me throw the theme music on. Shout out to everybody who came through. Great show. Dave, great show. Alex, great job as usual. Shout out to everybody that came through on this beautiful Saturday. All right, JLs.
Yeah, man. You know what it is? If you enjoy me, you can enjoy me and some of my friends at the Nick of Time Show. We do have a podcast that drops on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play every Tuesday. We missed last Tuesday. Well, almost every Tuesday. And we also have our videos uploaded on YouTube, usually Wednesday or Thursday. So check those out. All links are in the description. Also, I will have merch dropping very, very, very soon. Working on that. If you want to get my merch right now, link is also in the description, nickoftimeshow.com. Also, if you want to read some cool blogs from my guy Ryan G, who's out here working really hard, you can go to link in the description, nickoftimeshow.com. Click that and read some blogs from my guys. And that is all for today. Also, follow me on my the social medias right there. Links in the description as well. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Back to you, CP Beaker.
All right. And JLs, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Oh, man, my end of season graphic, whatever, it's a little delayed. Shout out to everybody for coming through. Knicks fall 102-94 to the Sacramento Kings. But we had a good show, man. We had a good show. Good game by Mitchell Robinson. He put in 8 points, 9 rebounds, 4 block shots from Money Mitch. 23 straight games with 1 block shot. So on this show, we look for a lot of silver linings when this team is lost in so many damn games. So yeah, another one for the tank. Another one in the books for the tank. And we keep it rolling. Tomorrow night, Knicks versus Timberwolves. Catch us after the game, 10:30 Eastern time. It's going to be a little bit of a late one. Audio format of the show. If you missed it and you're at work, you can't watch video. Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, and Alexa. Get your merch via the links are in the description. There's also links to the audio format as well. Let's keep the conversation going. If you guys are on Twitter, share this video on Twitter with the hashtag PostgameNYK, and we will add you to the Twitter group. And we can continue the conversation. I'm in there, JLs is in there, Alex is in there, Dave. We're all in there talking it up. So, once again, great job, everybody. Yeah, my graphics slowing down a little bit, JLs, but it's all good. But yeah, man, once again, we'll see you guys tomorrow. You have until 8:10 p.m. Eastern to get into the Statement Games competition and win your hat. So hope you guys all play. Share it with a friend. Get them in here. Well, let's get a large turnout, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, man. 10:30.